What's going on, YouTube? This is Music Player 1979 coming to you from West Texas.
No, where's the payment?
It's 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Beautiful day today, February 18th, 2014. Yesterday, I went outside as I normally do, and I observed the sky. And I noticed that there was a hand being formed in the south. It started forming just below the sun, and I could watch it as it started fluently going over towards the east. Throughout the day, as the sun set over to the west, I made more and more out. It was amazing. It was showing me two arms that started out in the due west side. As one came from the due west, shot over the sky over to the due east side, another one started due west and went up north and made an elegant, sudden 90-degree turn towards the south. As I watched it throughout the day, I wasn't quite sure where these two large arms were being created from and how large the objects that were creating them were. So on the 17th, I went outside and I watched again. And this time, in amazement, I couldn't believe how strong and thick these arms were. And I was able to make so much more out. There seemed to be a large hand, and directly on the due west side seemed to be very large objects coming into view for me. I thought this resembled an object that I had seen many months ago. I seen it up high in the horizon 4 or 5 months ago, minutely small. And then I started watching it throughout the months get lower above me. So I naturally thought that was the same object, but very much lower. I have watched two large planets that seem to be smashed together move from the southwest side up to the north within the last 3 months. So now what's taking place is these two large planets are sitting on the due west side, and they're creating the two arms that I speak about. The one that goes from due west to due east, and the one that goes up north, suddenly changing to the south. You have those two arms because you have those two major planets. At the moment on the due west side, you have two large planets that go to two smaller planets that have 5 or 6 very large moon objects with them, rotating around them as I can see it. And then from that size you have a smaller size. But this size seems to scatter throughout this whole area. And they're large. They're the same size as the moon would come up in the sky. Very large. What comforts me to know with this system is not knowing how far away it is. I know that the last few viewings that I've encountered, the temperatures have lowered 10-15 degrees instantly. These objects are moving fluently across our skies in all different directions. I always say when you first start seeing it, it'll be most noticeable in the sunset. you'll make out the elegant orange reddish color to it. And then throughout that next couple days, you'll start seeing it rise from the west very elegantly, and you'll get the chemtrail patterns. And then throughout that next 3 or 4 days, you're clouded over as you watch it go towards the southeast. This is much closer because that cycle here in the south, where I'm seeing it, has sped up a bit. But for those of you in the northern hemisphere, and so on, you will start seeing and having that same guide that I just told you about. In the south here, it's all around us now. There's no timing to it. It's supposed to lay down in the southeast for me, and some of them still do. But yet again, I look in the west, and there they are. On the due east side, you have a large object that these two hands go to. Now remember, the hand that goes up to the north has that sudden switch in direction as it goes up north. And I believe it's because of a larger object that sits there and its encounter with it. So it creates that 90-degree turn towards the south. And it grabs a hold of the second or third primary object. So you have the one in due west coming over due east, grabbing that object, as you have the other one from the north dipping down and grabbing it as well. The last 3 days have been amazing, guys. I've seen more than I've ever seen before, and it's just getting much, much more intense for me. I'd like each and every one of you guys to share this information with your friends, the pictures, the videos. Copy it. Do what you got to do. Share this information. It's important. Keep coming back, guys. I'm going to keep showing you. And again, this is Music Player 1979 here in West Texas. We'll see you next time. Much love. west side. As one came from the due west, shot over the sky over to the due east side, another one started due west, February 18th, 2014. Yesterday, I went outside as I normally do, and I observed the sky, and I noticed that there were what's going on, YouTube? This is Music Player 1979 coming to you from West Texas.
No, there's a pail.
It's 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Beautiful day today. Throughout the day, as the sun set over to the west, I made more and more out. It was amazing. It was showing me two arms that started out in the due west. There was a hand being formed in the south. It started forming just below the sun, and I could watch it as it started fluently going over towards the east.